Welcome to the Be Real Podcast. We are growing, giving ourselves grace, giving ourselves gratitude because it's healing issues, not for the MFing week. Let's get straight into the episode. Today's episode will be about how I turned my 9-to-5 into my first investor. 3 things that you will get out of this episode is how I lost my job and I was able to attract my dream job and now I make 6 figures. How I was able to save, how I was able to pay off my debt, and now my job is my first investor and it's helping me fund my dream, which is the podcast. So that is what you will get from this episode. So stay and listen to the whole episode. I'm going to always start off with a backstory. It's going to be short, sweet, and simple, and then we're going to get into the application. So, backstory is I have been in that same place where I've been job to job and I've hated the jobs where I just did not dislike it. I did not feel like I really belonged there. You know, it was just an interim job. I'm just here just to be here, you know, just to get the money, you know. And I dreaded getting up in the morning going to certain jobs until something happened. I had a breaking point where God had stripped everything from me and he was like, I need you to hone in and know exactly what type of job you want because I don't want you to stay in this space. Even if I got to pull you back, and I basically lost my job. Even if I got to take you from this job and you no longer in a space where you have a job, I need you to get so clear about what you want in a job that you are, I need you to get so clear about what you want in a job so you can look at this job as your investor in your dream. And he did just that. So, for the application, like what we're going to do to get there, this is for someone that may not have the job yet or just is negative, these first 2 steps. So, the first thing is, if you have a job and you somewhat enjoy the job, but you always still find something negative to say about the job, please be grateful. Because there are some people in this world that don't have a job, are not able to pay their bills every month, are not physically able to even go to a job. So I need you to find something grateful to be about when you go to this job. Find the positivity with the job. I need you to pray over yourself and pray over your energy and pray over everything within that job before you go on a job so you can shift the atmosphere. So the atmosphere is not what you have experienced in the past, okay? I need you to stand in your power because right now you're not standing in your power. You're being negative Nancy and you're complaining about the job versus taking in your power and understanding that you have the power to be the light in the room when you walk in, okay? So, first, let's start being positive about the job, okay? Second, if you do not like your job or if you want a new job, you don't feel purpose at your job, because I have felt this. I'm just there clocking in to get a check. You know, what I had to do was I really had to sit down with God and hone in on what type of experience that I want to have at the job that I see myself at for a long time, like for enough time to where we can partner. You know, I can be here, I can do what I'm supposed to, I can bring the value that I know that I have, you know. Sorry, started to rambling. But you need to write it down. What type of job do you want? If you don't know what type of job you want, you need to ask God. Get clear with God. Ask God for clarity, okay? And write it down. I got so specific when I was writing it down in my journal that I told God what type of job I wanted, how I wanted to feel, how diverse I want the job to have. I wanted to see people that look like me. I no longer wanted to be in a place and I feel like the outcast. And I got just that. There's people that look like me that I can go to and I can be myself with. But I also asked God to allow me the time to be my most authentic self. Like I can show up at my job as my most authentic self. I don't have to be, I know how to turn on that professional. Well, that's what that was like. Hi, my name is Raven, and yeah, I don't have to do that. I can talk like Raven. I can be Raven, you know. And then I also wrote down the pay because money is important, okay? Money is a tool and it allows you to provide for yourself, provide for your family, and be able to do the things that you want and need and experience life. So yes, I did tell him how much I wanted, okay? And so I was very specific about what I wanted, okay? So write it down. Get clear with God about your job, because you spend so much time at a job every day that if you're at that job and you're miserable, it just carries on into your life way too much. It has too much power over you, and we no longer want a job to have that much power over you. Okay, so at this point, I've attracted the job. I have the job. The things that I wrote down came to fruition. I didn't get my exact pay, but I got close to it, and I got very good benefits. So be grateful for the blessing that you get from God when you do ask for the job and he delivers it on a silver platter, okay? But now that we have the job, it's time for us to partner with the job and understand that our job is an investor in our business, in our dream, okay? Every company that you have worked with had an investor, and you need to start reframing your mind and looking at your job as your investor. Yes, after the bills, after all of that, look at your job as the investor. Yes, you heard me right. Okay. So first, what I did when I got the job, I needed to clear way for the investors to be the investor that I wanted it to be. You know, like if you have an investor come into your business and you full of debt, are you even gonna make a profit? No, you're gonna be paying off your debt. You're gonna be further and further in the hole. You know, so what I first did is clear my debt. I needed to clear my debt because baby, I had it. And I wanted to just not be so anxious, no more. So my job provided me with the opportunity, the tool of money to be able to clear my debt. After I cleared my debt, it was time for me to start saving. Okay. So throughout this time, my job is partnering with me to create a better life for myself. I am at a job where I have purpose. I am able to show up every day and I enjoy my job. It gives me flexibility. I love what I'm doing. So I'm showing up and I have the value and I know that I bring the value to the table. And I knew that as I was writing it down and I was attracting the job and when I was at the interview. So you have to know your value and what you bring to the table. And so that's when you partner with your job, and now you're able to be like, okay, I want to clear the way for more things to come in. I want to clear the way so that I can actually utilize my investor the way that I want to, which is your job. I clear out my debt, and I did not have small debt. It was not like $5,000. I think I had like $10,000 to $15,000 worth of debt. So I cleared out my debt. I started small and I just started paying it off. This was during COVID, so I was able to pay my debt down faster because everybody was at home. So I was working two jobs and I really paid my debt down fast. But you create a plan for you that is sufficient for you, okay? Don't rush it. Just understand that paying off your debt will give you the relief to feel like, whew, like I can breathe for a second, because that's how I felt when I paid off my debt. Then second, what I did was I started to save. Okay. I knew how I felt when it came to money and not being able to have, I had a savings, but just not just being in a lack mindset. So I started to save. And when you save, it's going to look different this time. It's important for it to look different this time because in the past you have just saved and you put your money in a Bank of America account. You just put your account, just any bank account, and there's no interest being made on the account. And Bank of America may have this. It's a high yield savings account. You need to get you a high yield savings account and you need to put your money there. I use Marcus Goldman Sachs as my high yield savings account, and I think I get like 3.5% interest on my money every month versus when you have it in a regular bank account, you probably get like 0.01%. I don't know, it's not very much. But you're putting that money in that account because it's less accessible and then you're making more money on top of your money. Okay. So you're using the money that your job is giving you, the investor, to build the foundation so that you can get to the point to where you're able to invest in you and invest in your dreams. But we have to clear the way first, okay? We have to give you the confidence and the ability to feel like you can even invest in your dreams without feeling so stressed and feeling so lack before you get to that point where you're like, okay, I can spend $500 on a coaching program, without feeling so anxious and so like I gotta just keep working. I gotta work hell, it gives you peace. Okay. So first, like I said, the debt. Second, the savings. Get a high yield savings. Get an account that is less accessible. I don't want you to be able to go up the street and take the money out that's too accessible for you. You need to be able to think about it and be like, "Ooh, okay, this is gonna take 24 hours. It ain't even worth it at this point." Okay. And I want you to make more money on top of your money. Okay. So you're actually being a good steward of your money, which is in the Bible. You getting money from your investor, which is your job, and you actually put it in a place where you're creating more money. Okay. So after we do that, like I said, we have cleared the way. We have a savings. So create your savings goal. Like right now, I have a savings goal to save $10,000. I have a like how much I need to put into my account every pay period. So have your price, whether it's $2,000, $1,000, just have the amount that you want to save, and let's start there. So when your car breaks down, you're not so fidgety. When things happen to you in life, you won't be so fidgety and so on edge, okay? And then last but not least, now that you have the savings and you have cleared your debt, you now have a foundation where you feel like, okay, how can I start investing in my purpose to where I'm not so where I can just be, you know? Before you were not able to just be. You have attracted the job. You have the job. You go to your job and you're in good spirits when you go. You may have your bad days. There may be some times where the meetings or you just have conversations that are not the best. But majority of the time, your energy and everything at your job is just always good, you know? And then now that you have that, you have changed your mindset from your job as just being like your job, and you change it as an investor. You are building a foundation for yourself where you have cleared the debt. Now you have a savings, and you can do those interchangeably. If you want to clear debt and save at the same time, figure out how that works for you. But in the end, the goal is for us to get to the end and understand that our job is our investor, and that we have the ability to have the tools, which is the money, to invest in our dreams, invest in the vision that we see for ourselves. And we don't have to just be in a scarcity mindset, and we don't have to be in a place where we're like, I can't dress in my dreams, I can't do this. You have to set up the foundation for you to be not so in this scarcity mindset, or in this mindset where you're just always like, I can't do it because I don't have this, I can't do it because I don't have this. You know, you should trust that you can do it even when you don't have the money. But I'm knowing that I needed the security. I needed to see that money in my account, okay? I needed to know that I cleared my debt. I needed to know that I had a savings before I could actually feel comfortable to invest in my dreams. And I'm still at a point to where it's sometimes where I'm just very, very, very hesitant to do certain things, because I like to see the money in my account. And I'm like, you need how much money? Okay, we gonna see, you know. But like I said, the point is to clear the way for you to get to the point to where you have a savings, you have a foundation that you have set from your investor, which is your job, which allows you to invest in your dreams, whatever that looks like. So I am challenging you to change your mindset and stop looking at your job in such a negative mindset, and attract the job that you deserve, and know that you're valuable, but also know that your job is an investor. They are investing in you. They are investing in the dream that you have. You use that money to invest in you. You know, like, change your mindset. When you change your mindset, you will change how you move when you're at that job. You will change how just things are at the job altogether. Okay, so that was the whole point of this podcast, is to learn to partner with your 9-to-5 versus being against your 9-to-5, and look at your 9-to-5 as an investor. 9-to-5 is a part of our life. We do it, so we're there so much that we have to change our mindset. So that's my challenge for you today. You know, as always, before we close out the podcast, I'm going to pray. And yeah, let's pray. God, I thank you for allowing us to be here today. I thank you for giving us breath in our body. I thank you just for loving us and just allowing us to be who you have called us to be. God, I'm asking that you have giving everyone the strength here to know that they are more than capable of being able to attract the job or be at that job that they have now, and change their mindset when it comes to jobs and their 9-to-5s. And they can shift their mindset and look at their jobs as their investors in their dreams. That real estate business that you want, you can start it just by saving some money and putting some money aside and clearing the way so that you can actually start building that foundation and using your investors' money to get the life that you desire and just attract more and live in abundance and not be in lack, God. So I thank you for that. I thank you for shifting our mindsets that every job is not bad. There are good jobs out here with there's a good and bad to everything in life. So just understand that there are good jobs out here and that you're worthy of those, and that you need to shift your mindset. Go into your job with a positive mindset. Understanding that you spend majority of your time there. So figure out what you need to do to go in there with a positive mindset and not let somebody take your energy, but stand in your power and knowing that this is bigger than me. I am using this job as a tool to be my investor in my dream life, in my dreams of everything that I want to come to fruition, guys. So I thank you. I thank you for shifting our mindset. I thank you for the renewal of the mind. And I thank you for the overwhelming guys. So I'm just knowing that they will be able to save. They'll be able to clear out any debt that they have, and they'll be able to start in building that foundation, that savings, that thing, that security that makes them feel secure, so where they're able to invest in their dreams and bring in more money and create just the life that they desire. So I'm thankful for the 9-to-5s that we have now. I'm thankful for the tools that they have provided us with, the tool of money, the tool of just the things that we also learned there that we're able to apply to our businesses. So God, I just thank you. I thank you for just allowing to give me the words. I thank you for just shifting our mindset from I hate my job to I enjoy my job, and my job is an investor in my business, in my life, in the things that I see for myself, that I envision for myself. So God, I thank you. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Amen. As always, if you enjoyed this podcast and you're listening to it on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. If you comment, I would really appreciate it, because it just helps me know that what the things that I said have actually just, you have understood it. It like transformed, it did something for you, and it helps me understand that I am aligned. So I really appreciate when you guys leave comments. Also, if you are listening on Spotify in a car or on Apple in a car, you are able to also follow the podcast, so you'll get an update or a notification every time I post. And then you can also leave a review telling them how great you love the podcast, and that will also allow me to push the podcast out to more people, so they get more awareness of that. Okay, so it's a girl that's growing and she got a podcast. Oh, who is she? Let me go to This Is Be Rare. So I thank you for you helping me reach that goal and just being a listener on my podcast. But yeah, that wraps up today's episode. So yeah, I love you guys. Be rare, be you, be authentic. Mwah!